Yo, what's going on, everyone? We are live again. Another pre-Dynamite podcast hosted by the Wrestle Purist crew. Myself, Joe Hulbert, Charlie, Big AO making his first appearance on camera. It's a special occasion here. We got a lot to get into today. A lot of news to get into today. I think that's pretty much an understatement because we say that pretty much every time. So today is a very big day and we're going to get into all of it. First things first, please like, subscribe, super chat if you're feeling generous, always appreciated. Turn on the post notification, that is also always appreciated. Hope everyone's good. Starting with my fellow co-host, Big AO, man. First time on screen, it's a big occasion. The elite of re-sign with AEW, is that the occasion while you're on screen today?
Hey, listen, man. Fuck all that, man. Listen, man. I'm pissed. I woke up to this bullshit, man. What kind of shit is this, bro? What happened? We were supposed to end Mania. Bro. What's going on?
Not happening. No, those AO elite in WWE dreams. They went down in a ball of fire today, and
Bro, I
pretty
woke
tough,
up.
bro.
I woke up and I legit screamed, "No!"
It was a weird dream to always have. Let's be honest, it was always a bit of a pipe dream.
I was robbed, Christian. I was robbed, bro. It's fucking bullshit, bro. Like, but other than that, I've had a good day. It's raining outside, so I almost fell asleep. But I got the call.
Yeah, you got the call. You got the last minute call because the fake AO. He I don't know, man. I hope he's okay.
Just don't know where he is.
You never know these days when people miss pro wrestling podcasts. You never know. I hope he's good. But yeah, he's not here right now. I don't know if he's gonna show up sometime before we end the show. But we've got the real AO in my bottom left corner right there, and also joining us, I've got my two Brits. My two British friends. I'll start with you, Charlie. New hair color again.
Yes.
How are you doing today, and what inspired this change?
I'm doing pretty good today. Had a fun day. Was it G1 this morning? Yeah, watched G1 this morning. I think it was good. Can't remember. The hair color is because I was bored, and I had to re-dye the purple anyway. So I was just like, okay, why not change it? So we're rocking the red right now. We're also rocking the Bullet Club War Dogs because best thing going right now.
The highest selling T-shirt in New Japan,
Absolutely.
as reported by Wrestling Observer newsletter. Pop, good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
And I'm excited about the Elite, by the way.
Yes, of
Very
course.
excited. If that wasn't obvious,
we can imagine. We're going to get into it, of course, and I'm sure you was just saving it. Hulbert, a lot of news going on today, but you're not really tapped into the old Twitter app today. You're a bit out the circle. Tapping into your inner old man, which I know you're pretty familiar with.
I am.
But how are you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm enlightened by this information about the E standing for elite. Very exciting, and I'm fired up. Talk it through, and in all seriousness, I'm like legitimately happy to be on a show that has the title this one does, because this is the title of this stream appears to be like something from someone's dream. Quite frankly, an incredible just collection of words above us here as we do this show, or below us if you watch on YouTube. So I'm excited to be in attendance for that. And Dynamite 200. I wasn't around a lot on the old Bird app, but I did scroll enough to see some memories of Dynamite through the years thus far, and it was actually pretty cool. There's been some incredible moments. It was nice to kind of go take a trip down memory lane for a moment there. So good stuff.
Yeah, man, it's gonna. We hope it's gonna be a huge episode, and it's quite the landmark. 200 TV episodes. And obviously they've done a lot more than that. With obviously now Collision and obviously Rampage, and how many episodes have done on that. I think that's in like the hundreds now, isn't it? So, yeah, man, hell of a landmark, and it seems like they're gonna really kick off the road to All In this week. We at least expect and hope. It was actually reported by Dave Meltzer on Twitter earlier that they will be announcing some All In matches tonight. So, looking forward to it. But of course, sticking with AEW, the huge, gargantuan news that's came out today was that the Elite.
It wasn't really that huge.
Listen, Rob, live with it. You have to deal with it. They've signed it, the long-term contracts, and you're just gonna have to, you're gonna have to put up with it, brother. Yeah, let's get into it, man. The Elite re-signed with AEW, as reported by Sports Illustrated. All four signed multi-year deals. Omega and the Young Bucks will remain EVPs. In a follow-up report by Thoughtful Select, it was told that they were told by sources that one of the contracts was at least 4 years, but aren't sure if all the deals match up. The deals were completed over the last couple of weeks. WWE would have been interested if they had the chance of signing them. I think that's pretty. Of course, it would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Serious talks were never engaged, though, as far as they know. And apparently, there is certainly some movement on the Young Bucks versus FTR in a potential rematch that, of course, a lot of people have been excited about. And as a lot of people know, it's been reported quite a few times that, the working on these contracts, and they have been working on these contracts for literally like 6, 7, 8 months. I think like the first initial reports were like January, February times about them AEW trying to work on these Elite contracts. And it's been going on this whole time. Like they have been like working on this like a lot. And it was noted as well in the Fightful Select report that CM Punk's return to the company and how that was going to play out did cause some slowdowns with things, as you can imagine. But they got it over the line in the end, and they are here to stay. They got long-term contracts. We'll get into the reasons that each member gave for signing new contracts, because we got quotes from all 4 members of the Elite. We also got some quotes from Tony Khan. But first things first, Charlie, I've got to give it to you first. Of course, it would be criminal not to. But the Elite, they're here to stay. Here to stay. And multi-year contracts, they ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. I don't have to watch WWE, thank God. But
No,
it's not that bad. I never thought they were leaving, but I'm just relieved that all the discourse is now going to end, and I can just enjoy them again, and we can look forward, and hopefully they'll acknowledge All In tonight, and it's just going to be great. And I'm excited to see what they do over the next couple of years. And yeah, I'm just very, very happy about it. I don't really actually have that much to say. I'm just very happy.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's the best thing you can feel about it, as long as you're happy about it. It's good news. It's huge news for AEW, and of course it's huge news for, the foreseeable future for the careers of all 4 men. I did find it quite interesting that they will be remaining EVPs rather than just kind of focusing on like the on-screen stuff that they're doing themselves. Fuck, my voice went completely then. But yeah, it's still EVPs, still gonna, it seems like they're gonna be, but you'd suspect that they're going to get like really involved again, because I think it's fair to say that when. Go on, Rob.
Hold on, I'm on the phone with I'm texting the Elite as we speak. We're trying to get ourselves out of this contract speaking.
Why? You're just gonna have to deal with it, bro. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to tell you this on this podcast, but you're just gonna have to suck it up, deal with it like a man, and.
No.
Just accept the Elite in AEW for the foreseeable future, next few years at least. But like I was saying, at the start of AEW, you would always hear about like what the Elite would be doing backstage. Whether that was Kenny helping out with the women's division and other things, whether that was the books like recruiting and helping younger talent, etc., etc. Or whatever that may be, Whereas as the years have gone on, I think it's pretty fair to say that you hear a lot less about their involvement. Of course, Tony Khan has got a lot of new people involved in the business that could probably take over some of those roles that they were doing backstage and stuff. But it will be interesting to see if they get more involved now that they've like re-signed and committed to being EVPs again. So. What do you think, Joe? Was you expecting them to just stay on as talent, or does the EVP thing surprise you a bit?
It doesn't, to be honest, because I think it would have made more of a mess if you'd have like actively taken that role from them.
It's big label.
I think their role at this point, they control their staff and do the best job they can in terms of making that, as good as it can be. And I think because they've been in this feud with the Blackpool Combat Club, that has meant one block of the show in recent months, but now they kind of spread out again. That'll be a lot of Dynamite for the better, to be clear. So I don't think you're going to see that much change in terms of their role. The real big thing is that it's just a confirmation of what we kind of began to assume, right? I mean, this was where things were trending in the last couple of months in particular. It was very clear they were staying. That doesn't mean it's any less, big time in terms of news. It's a big deal, man. It really is. And
Huge deal, yeah.
I think Collision emerging has been interesting in a range of ways, but it also made it even more imperative they stay around. I mean, it was always important because, jokes aside, it's true. I mean, they are the foundation of the company, but they are Dynamite now in particular, right? So you absolutely need to keep them around. And I think the real exciting thing as a fan, I feel like Kenny in particular, I feel like he's only barely scratched the surface because he missed a year. And since he came back, he's been very much in AEW anyway, embroiled in kind of faction war and the trios belt and so on and so forth. We've still got a lot of stories to tell in terms of him chasing back the belt that, he destroyed himself, try to keep, so on and so forth. The Young Bucks, through much of this year, have not been operating as a tag team. So as we get into with the FTR match later, they've got a kind of not quite the same, but a similar position emerging there. So, and Hangman's he's the young gun. There was always stuff left for him to do. So,
yeah, he's got many other.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some people that were intrigued about looking elsewhere and talking it through, but it always felt inevitable they were going to reach a deal, and especially as of late it has. So, it's a confirmation of that, and it's a big, big day for AEW as a result.
Absolutely huge news at AEW. Rob, I know you're a little bit sour, Don't know how much of it's a bit. Don't know how much of it's real feelings, but I think it's pretty fair to say that nobody's really too surprised.
I guess they can finish their story with Dark Order since everybody cares so much about that. And they can finish their story with.
He's so deflated, He's mumbling down the mic.
But who really y'all really want to see FTR versus the Bucks 3? Y'all really want that?
Yes.
I do
Yes,
actually, Rob. I do.
I'm rather excited
Sounds
about
quite appealing to me.
I mean, FTR is a good, 2-star, 2.5-star team, but are they really better?
Emotional about it.
Are they really better? Are they really better than Indus year?
Oh, come on.
I was expecting Pretty Deadly, to be honest. You went
even them, are they really better than Pretty Deadly?
I think it's pretty fair to say probably.
Probably better, yeah.
Probably.
But in all honesty,
Pretty Deadly up better gear.
So I read the Sports Illustrated article. No, I didn't, but we talked about it in the space that we did earlier today. And
yes,
the reasons why is because Kenny said he wants to do more outside of the States and more with more wrestlers from around the world. And the Bucks said, look, we just want, it's money, nigga. But listen, and I'm not mad at that. You know why? Because if Kenny wants to continue wrestling wrestlers from around the world, that just means more good wrestling, and I'm down for that. And that means more good New Japan matches. I'm down for that. And the Bucks don't really have any, like I said in the space, they don't really have anything left to prove, bro. They don't have anything left to prove. They faced pretty much every tag team outside of the WWE in the last 10 years. So what else do they have to prove besides going to WWE? Their fan base really doesn't want to see them do that. So
yeah,
their fan base besides me. But,
you got to keep the bit alive, Yeah, like I said, it doesn't surprise me. I don't really blame them for staying where they are and the reasons that they give. We'll get into those reasons as well.
Scared of house shows? My fault. Sorry.
Let's go. I want to fly through some super chats. Keep them coming, and I'll get to them as soon as I can because we've been live for nearly 15 minutes. I gotta get into them. Karan, 220 rupees. Appreciate you as always. I think the move may be to do MJF Punk at Wembley. In brackets, Punk hinted at it in his promo. And do the tag title rematch of FTR versus Cole MJF in Chicago. Punk can either face Joe or Ricky at Chicago. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I think MJF Punk at Wembley. I don't know. If you was going to do MJF Punk, you would do it in Chicago, wouldn't you? I don't know.
I honestly would I would hold off on both of those shows for that match, like legitimately.
Yeah, same.
Because now he's doing the real world champion thing.
Mhm.
You know,
Get some meat out of
get
it.
some juice.
Yeah.
And then when Max's music hits after a Punk match or the other way around, people should be like, okay, it's happening. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't rush on that.
Yeah,
You have to be careful because if you overdo the real world champion thing, it could definitely wear thin. But I wouldn't rush on that match at all. Obviously, then the question is, what are you doing in Chicago? If you imagine it's MJF and Cole in London, like I don't know what the Chicago match is if it isn't Punk. So it's an interesting conundrum, but a good problem to have. So we shall see.
Yeah, we will see. We will see indeed. Hopefully, we find out. We start to find out what direction they're going in tonight. You know, we got Dynamite coming up in just under 90 minutes. So, you know, we'll see what they got cooking. Average Limp Biscuit enjoyer £4.99. Thoughts on people on Twitter pretending having Grado on AEW's biggest show yet is a good idea. I mean, it's not really. Well, we obviously was talking about this before we went live. It's like I don't really care that much either way. You know, he's probably going to be on the pre-show. The crowd will pop for it and they'll sing the song if Tony licenses the song, which I'd assume he is if he's booking the match.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm not here to pretend that it's good, but I'm not here to kind of get mad about it or be disgusted about it either.
One thing I would say is like, I would suggest against the straight up singles match. I would probably put Grado.
Definitely.
I would probably do like a party match for Zero and put Grado with like a team opposite, you know, the Team TNA unit. But I'm with you, man. I don't know, like the kind of big the talk about today, the all in card today. To me, the clear conclusion there and takeaway was, holy shit, it looks like we're actually getting the rubber match with Zero and the Bucks. I was not sweating Grado personally.
Yeah,
I was not.
100%.
Listen, all I'll say about it is there's worse people they could have picked out of the British indie wrestling scene. So
Yes,
in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
You know, I will concede. I don't know how much of a, you know, I don't know how valuable it really is. I can't sit here and tell you that it's going to kind of, you know, the matches are going to come together for this, but it's harmless to me anyway.
10 minutes on the pre-show, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Rob's on his phone and he looks like he's like out cold right now.
Oh no, sorry. I was sorry.
Looking like the uncle.
Grado, listen. Grado good. Listen, the only reason y'all think Grado is bad because y'all saw him on fucking Pop TV when you couldn't use the theme because it was copyrighted. But Grado good.
Yeah, man, he's got vibes. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to pretend that it's this great thing that absolutely deserves to be on the Wembley AEW show. But like, again, it's probably going to be on 0 Hour. And
do you think they're going to try and get
I don't really care.
Do you think they're going to try and get 0 Hour on ITV over here? What
that would be
think?
really funny for some reason.
Incredible.
I don't know why, but that would
be
just be like
so
really funny. You know?
Well, like, I know that it would do a good pay-per-view buy here, but if you could get some of that on actual television, you feel like you have to do that, right? You have to sacrifice the dollars on that, or the pounds in this case. I don't know. That made
the 0 Hour was free on YouTube anyways. Just put it onto ITV. It'd be a great pop.
ITV4, it comes on after like Midsummer Murders. Grado comes out.
Followed immediately by Naked Attraction or some shit. Like
beautiful, you know, beautiful.
Peak British TV.
Yeah. Not Phil's burner, $5. Elite re-signed, nice. Always ready for round 2. I hope not, Phil. You know, I hope not. Showtime Spurs, $5. Appreciate you as always. Had no idea who Grado is until this afternoon. Fair. Anyone who doesn't want to hear that Madonna entrance at Wembley is foolish. That's going to be brilliant. I mean, like I said, I find myself kind of in the middle. Like, I'm not really that.
It must be like 12 if you don't know who Grado is, but you neither here nor there.
Like he's a worldwide megastar. You know?
Grado was very big in Japan.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was big in 0-1.
The huge juggernaut of Japanese wrestling. 0-1.
He did have real buzz there for a stretch. I mean, TNA signed him just because they were like fascinated by how popular he was, and then to Rob's point, they didn't have the song, so he was out there wrestling Al Snow. Tough times, folks. It is what it is.
Wrestling's a crazy business, you know. Margaret, $4.99. My favourite podcast and my favourite human in the world, Joe Hulbert. Shine bright like a diamond, Joe.
So, I'm not going to respond to this anymore. Enough.
Me? Money's money, brother. Sean Morgan, $4.99.
Yeah.
Appreciate you as always. The Elite re-signed and AO misses the pod when he said he wasn't spending any dollars on AEW until it happened. His fandom is a little sus. Hey, man.
Whoa.
You're asking the real questions, Gonna have
That's
to
a
look
heavy
into
allegation.
it.
Yeah.
We'll get Jamie to look into it, Logan the dog, the German Shepherd. Guten Tag, $1.99. Appreciate you very much. Just bench 2K. Bring me Roman. I think you're getting ready, brother. We're getting closer to the big one, King of the North, $2 Canadian. Appreciate you as always. Give me Omega versus Miyahara dream match, please. I'd take that on. I'd take that on any show. All in Dynamite, Rampage. I'd tune into Dark. I'd tune into anything for that. That would be very real. Zaid Natty, $4.99. Just wanted to shout out Wrestle Purists. Discovered this channel via Ibu's great takes. While I don't watch all Wrestle Purist shows, it's great to have a variety of voices. Appreciate it very much. We do make a kind of like a point of making sure we have like variety on the channel, So I'm glad you appreciate it. We appreciate you too, as always. Mass fan, another one we always appreciate, $5. Rob, I know you know people in the Department of Justice. Will
Yes.
Vince, Linda,
Wait, what does that
Triple
mean?
H, Steph.
Wait, what the fuck does that mean?
Hold on.
What the hell?
Rob, I know you know people in the Department of Justice. Will Vince, Linda, Triple H, Steph, or Dana White get wrangled up in this Trump indictment?
Listen, Vince is going down. I have information. Yes, I have information on Vince McMahon working closely with Donald Trump, not only to get their country back. This is their own words, not mine. Not only to get their country back, but to get their company back. Now, you didn't hear this from me. I only give y'all the real close scoops that I know, and what I know is Vince McMahon and Trump are going to be sharing a cell together. But you didn't hear this from me. Rob is a fat. No. Oh no. Oh shit, my wire showing. Hold on. Listen. I know. I just know things. I'm letting y'all know I know things. But I know.
Now, take the tinfoil hat off, and let's get back because I think we finished I finished with the super chats for now. Please keep them coming though because we do appreciate as we always do. We'll try to get to them as soon as we can, as and when we get them. But I want to kind of get into the reasons that each member of the Elite gave for why they're staying with AEW because all of them were slightly different. So, Charlie, which member do you want to start with first?
Start with Hangman's.
All right. Hangman's was the most simple, to be honest. He did say, though, that he thinks it's very meaningful that as a day one guy, he stays with AEW. It's likely that he'll finish his career there. Hopefully that can help the future generation see that there can be more than one path to success. And at this stage in his life, the selling point was the schedule. And plus, he's getting paid very well. So pretty standard reasoning, pretty solid standard reasoning. I don't think anyone will hold any of them against him. But yeah, man, don't seems like he's someone who's ever going to get tempted by WWE, but I don't think that surprises anyone, loyal to the soil, Hangman Adam Page,
Is that real shit?
Joe, do you think Hangman Adam Page in WWE is like what does that even look like?
I don't know. I mean, he's a tremendous talent, and whenever a guy's that good, I assume they would find a way to be a player. There would be some issues that would emerge for a range of reasons that are just the way WWE works, and they're very set in their ways in some parts of their where they operate. I could definitely see Hangman hitting a guy extra hard in some fucking Sunday night house show, and it being a whole ordeal. But he feels like a guy who's going to stay in AEW for the rest of his career, as he said, as he kind of alluded to there. So I never really thought it through much. I'm sure he would play a role of some kind because he's talented, more than talented enough to do so. But I mean, I must say, I'm really interested as to what he does in AEW moving forward, right? I mean, to me, it's like he's in a really interesting spot because at one point we all kind of had penciled him in and was ready to go beyond that with him as like the ace of the promotion.
Yeah.
And he's young enough to still do that. He certainly doesn't feel in that spot now, but that's not necessarily a disaster. Like you can always reheat the guy. So I'm really interested how this new deal affects his creative because he has a lot left to do. He's still a young guy, fresh guy, had one reign on top. There's no reason he can't go back to that role. So I'm very interested to see what he does.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, he's the quite by far like the youngest member of the elite, and there's a lot ahead for him. So it is quite. It's not that interesting because it's so unsurprising, But it's like, good for him. He's getting paid. It's on a long-term contract, and he wants to retire at the company he's started at from day one. So,
a lot of people, Kyrie said that he was going to be a Cav for life.
Insane comparison.
He also said he was going to what?
Kyrie Irving, insane direction to take.
Kyrie Irving, Hangman Page, two people that have, very, very complex outlooks on life. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, fair. Twice one way of phrasing it, definitely.
A lot of people say they're going to stay a lot of places for life,
They do. They do, certainly.
But it seems like the money's talking as well,
I mean, it is a fair point, Rob, like beyond the comparison, which is, I'm not going to put my name, but, if he signed a 4-year deal, he's 35 when the deal was up. I mean, still, I do get the point for sure.
Hey, 30.
I think literally the only loss of him not going to WWE is that he can't wrestle Walter, and that's like the only match I would care about. So I'm good with it, man. He's gonna have a lot to do in AEW once they figure out the positioning of the elite, because if they run with this making Kenny world champion again, like everyone wants them to, it's like where does that leave Hangman? Because you can't just rehash the feud. There's no point. Right now, anyways. Right. So it'd be interesting if they did something with the international title. I feel like that could be pretty cool.
That's the thing. It feels like there's so many different avenues to explore with him. Because you could do that. I think he'd be a great candidate once the kind of, to be fair, the elite stuff or the Hung Buck stuff could be coming to a quicker end than we thought, right? With the FTR matches happening. He'd be a great candidate to rebuild the TNT title also. Yeah. So there are different ways. I think at some point he's going to be a heel. And he is going to be awesome inside the ropes as a heel because he's going to clobber guys. That's going to be a great time. I want to see him and Kenny be a team again at some point also down the line. So
the Jay White feud.
Yeah, there's a lot to do.
I just remembered that we need that at some point in AEW because there's so much meat with that from their history in New Japan.
There's a lot, man. There's especially for Hangman because it's he can do everything, you can put him in the tag division, you can put him in singles, you can have him with the TNT title, the international title, or the world title. You can do so many different things with him, and even though he's already done so much, there's still just he's only scratched the surface. Kenny Omega, as Joe mentioned earlier, the same because of his injuries and kind of they're doing a lot of tag stuff and a lot of trio stuff. And it's when Kenny was coming into AEW, he was known as the best bout machine, singles match fucking extraordinaire, So
he can take that belt off of what's that one belt? Yeah, they need to take tag belts off the FTR. I know that one.
We'll get into it.
You called them the FTR.
Listen. I like my belts on both shows. Well, not on, meaning Dynamite and Rampage. I don't know about Collision, but
that's so nice.
I like my belts on both shows. And FTR have seemed to attach themselves to CM Punk's pocket like we're in Rikers Island. And, I'm not fucking with it, man. I'm not fucking with it at all. So I need the belts back on the main show. I need the belts back where they were cemented in the first place. And that is AEW Dynamite.
Big accusations.
What do you mean? What did I
There's
say?
a solid point somewhere amongst the bit there with like the champions appearing on both shows, but they've done it a little bit, so I'll give them a little bit.
Yeah,
They just
they're on
need to
Dynamite,
have
you know.
matches on Dynamite now.
All right.
That would be nice. The tournament final being
I'm-
on Collision was a great
Charlie,
bit.
I'm trying to get off this Dynamite review show. Don't try and bring me back. I'm trying.
trying to work your way off it, yeah.
all right. Hulbert,
Yes, mate.
pick a member of the Elite other than Hangman, and we'll get into their
Yeah.
reasoning as
Matt
why
Jackson.
they are. Matt Jackson.
Yes.
He actually went out and literally said, "We're literally the E in AEW. The Elite are the main characters of this company. No matter how different AEW is now from its original inception, we are the DNA. If you lose the foundation of your home, it eventually collapses. It'd be a lie if I said that didn't weigh on us when making the decision." He also said, "Being closer to the end than I am to the beginning of his career, I'm not really one who worries that much about legacy anymore. Their next goal in AEW, piss more people off, make people happy, continue to think outside the box, tell unique stories, and then be able to go home to their families after it's all said and done."
This was awesome. This was the highlight of the whole story. I mean, the Kenny Omega quote is like the actual highlight from like an artistic standpoint. But Matt immediately using the opportunity to just talk his shit that's real grabs.
Mhm.
So I like this a lot. The Young Bucks are a fascinating case because it does feel like this next chapter is going to be like kind of it feels like there's going to be a shift of some kind, to me anyway. You know, I think with the trio stuff and the faction warfare stuff, they've kind of been running in place as characters, to me personally.
Mhm.
The third match with FTR and then what follows that, I think will shape the kind of next part of their AEW run, which obviously, I mean, everyone knows how good those guys are. Their first run as tag team champions is the best in promotion history, and honestly, way beyond that, if we're being real. So, very intrigued what they have up their sleeve in terms of what they do now.
Yeah, man. Matt just kind of he threw it all out there, man. It's kind of cool to see them know their position. Know the value, know the worth, and kind of just outright say that if if we get out of here, the foundation of this company just collapses. And there is absolutely a lot of truth to that. EB was saying in the space early, it's like, would AEW die like tomorrow if the Elite didn't re-sign and they went WWE and New Japan or went in a different direction? But they wouldn't die, like they'd still be on TV and they'd still put on good wrestling shows probably, They've definitely got enough pieces to make it work at this point, and they've got enough faith with the network, you'd assume at this point as well, to keep it rolling, But like, the spirit of the company would just die.
Yeah.
It would feel wrong. I know a lot of people, but the Elite, even before the start of AEW, like, they've always been somewhat divisive. They've got a very particular style of wrestling, and they've got a particular style of wrestling. They've got a particular style of telling stories and character work, etc. And some people are against it, but I don't think you can deny their contributions. I mean, when looking back at wrestling history, like what they've done for this company and just the business in general outside of WWE, which is, it will age like wine. It will age very well as we all get older and more time goes by. So, Matt,
Absolutely.
my very long-winded way of saying good on you, Matt. Talk your shit.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
tremendous. I'm glad to see it.
Every time I look up and Rob's on his phone, I just kind of you're
I'm
scaring
sorry.
me, Rob. I don't know if you're awake.
I'm awake.
I don't know.
I'm awake. I'm just
You're scaring me, bro.
in one situation right now. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm back.
We got We'll move to Nick next because, of course, that makes a lot of sense since we just spoke about Matt's quotes. Nick, given his reasoning, he said, "If we're going to be honest, the schedule was a huge part of it. I have a wife and 3 young children, and seeing them as much as possible was a big factor. I'm not going to lie, the money was a huge factor too." He also mentioned that.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, man, just got to shoot straight with the people, Got you getting interviewed by Sports Illustrated, flex a bit of money at them,
Real graps.
Absolutely. he did mention as well, like for sure, like they could have made memories in WWE, but it's more important to make memories with his family, and with the position they're in AEW, they'll still be
But like,
in a position to make memories in AEW as well.
since when? Since when in I can't. I'm not about to say that. That's kind of crazy. I was gonna say, when the wrestlers ever really
That's
gave a
nasty
fuck
bit.
about
He's gonna go full money to Hooper. You
wrestlers care about family now?
Yeah, exactly the direction of this word for word what money the
Ric Flair missed a lot of birthdays.
He did, yeah.
You know?
He did, yeah. And you know, we
shout out the Elise family. Shout out the Elise family. I'm just joking, bro.
we know.
You know, just trolling.
Kinda, you know.
Maybe.
But yeah, Nick also added, like I said, I think it's huge for AEW to keep the elite, and it's a W for the company and for us. So yeah, Nick Jackson definitely following suit of his brother Matt in just letting the people know they're more than aware of their value to the company. You know, yeah, man, shout out to them, and obviously the last one being Kenny Omega, which is the most interesting. You know, Kenny Omega, he doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have kids. You know, he's just in it for the love of the game. From the sounds of things, his main quote when kind of discussing his reasoning was, "In my pursuit to become as complete of a performer as possible, my goal was always to experience the stars of the world at their highest level. I believe that with AEW's current working relationships and possibly future relationships, I can challenge all forms of pro wrestling and diversify my style so that I'm equipped for any scenario I may encounter in the ring." He also added, "I was careful to weigh out all options and was open-minded to all possibilities. And AEW not only allows me to continue doing what I do at a high level, but allows the freedom to pursue some other passions I have in life." So
it's crazy, man. That's exactly what Rob said when you offered him to come on his podcast last minute. It's crazy. The parallels are.
Hey, listen, great minds think alike.
I've heard, yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Great minds think alike, man. You know, we gonna get them out of there, bro. We gonna get them out of there. I'm gonna get them out of there.
No, this quote was awesome. Seriously, though, awesome quote.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. Because obviously, like, as if you can't tell, the common theme throughout the rest of the elite was, the schedule, family, and all these kind of things. And Kenny Omega, is just like, yeah, man, I just want to have beast matches,
Okay, why can't you have a beast match with Santos Escobar? What's the problem with that? So it's fuck Santos Escobar now?
That's what he's saying. That is exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Sorry, I'm just reading a PW Insider report. It's nothing breaking. So, anyway, back to our original programming. Yeah, that's the reasoning that they all give. Like I was just pointing out, Kenny's slightly different, to say the least, from the rest of the guys. But his situation is different, as he points out. He hasn't got a wife. He hasn't got kids. He's in it for the love of the game. He's creating legacy, and he wants to be the best wrestler as possible, it sounds like. So, credit to him, Rob just looks deflated, disgusted.
Dejected.
Just can't believe what he's hearing.
Yo. What's more important? Winning the Royal Rumble or wrestling 5 times in 1 week?
A strange question.
Is that the way he leaned back? Is his real mic drop?
I'm just asking. What's more important, bro? Winning the Royal Rumble or wrestling 5 times a week? What's more important? Main eventing WrestleMania, something your counterpart, Cookie Monster Philip III, has never done. What's
Could you call him Cookie Monster?
He did.
Have I missed a bit?
What happened?
You kind of.
Okay.
That's the thing. That wasn't a complete Rob invention, but yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Hey, man, listen. I'm just saying, bro, like, it's whatever, bro. Okay.
Rob's just saying things. Like, just
Trying.
putting words together. You know.
Who cares? It doesn't matter anyway, bro. It's just wrestling.
I didn't understand the Royal Rumble or wrestling 5 times in a week because that happens in the same company. Like, where's the comparison?
Yo, wait. I hate when wrestlers do this, yo. You don't have to do that no more, bro. Especially if you're old. Look at Randy Orton's schedule, bro. Randy Orton goes to Raw,
Never wrestles.
and he goes home. He might do SummerSlam, and that's it.
Using Randy Orton as the example when he hasn't wrestled in over a year is fucking awesome.
Oh, we coming back soon.
Okay, good.
I hope so, but reports are suggesting otherwise. But I miss Randy Orton, man. I miss him a lot. He's
me too.
I'm telling y'all, man.
He was on top. We're
gonna get stem cell on our spine. We're gonna be back.
Yeah, man. He is coming back though, because there was even some, there was whispers and rumors about him maybe not even coming back at all. So he is trying to come back, even though apparently doctors have told him that's not the smartest idea. But
in all seriousness, I love the Elite, and if working New Japan matches is what Kenny wants to do, and chilling on Dynamite is what they want to do, is what the Bucks want to do, then that's fine. I have no problem with that.
It is. It is fine, and I'm glad you're mature enough to say that, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
It's very.
We'll be back.
Yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see about that. All right. So, and the other big story today, before we go back into fully AEW stuff again, the Feds, man. The Feds, they're on Vince McMahon's case again. I don't think we need to spend too much time on this, but I believe they executed a search warrant.
Alhamdulillah.
They executed a search warrant on him. They didn't find anything according to the WWE SEC filings. But yeah, man, Vince, last summer he was in a lot of trouble. This summer, the Feds are seems to be following up on some things. They're doing the searches. They're doing what they need to do to try and bring this man down. It seems.
He got isn't his back like in half or something, or like what?
Well, yeah, he's just had major life altering. These are not my quotes. Spinal surgery.
That was your quote, to be honest.
Hey, Monty, you know what that means? Hey, Monty, that's what them billionaires were telling them niggas to say when they don't want to tell niggas they're in the wheelchair. You have major life-altering, so no, you're in a wheelchair. That's what happened. It's okay. It's okay to tell people. It's okay. Zach Gowen didn't hide it.
Look at this.
What happened?
Vince's new lawyer, very busy. Hey man, again, the chat is asking the right questions about AO. They are asking the right questions about AO's whereabouts because we're busy, we're in the moment. We're doing a podcast for the people, and we ain't got the time to try and investigate whereabouts of AO right now. So I'm happy that the chat is getting involved with that. We've got a couple more super chats. Keep them coming. Just 2 for now, though. Gordon Brown, $5. Real ones know, Joe. Real ones know, Joe. Never frown with Gordon Brown.
Nothing. Got nothing.
Big Labour guy.
Just it's a dangerous trend. And
he's still your big bro? What happened?
Yeah.
We'll proceed with the prior conversation about wrestling, which was the US Feds execute a search warrant.
We'll get back to that after these super chats. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you as always. The Dark Order signed new 3-year deals. What will they do for the next 3 years? They are stealing money there. We better not get a Dark Order tag title run. We're going to get into that as its own kind of thing. We're going to touch on it for a couple of minutes at least. We're gonna
Darren Walker with a good opinion. Let's
We're on
go.
the same page, Darren Walker. Thanks for the super chat.
But yeah, appreciate the super chat. Keep them coming, and as I said, I will try and get to them as soon as I can. Pull them up on screen, etc., etc. We appreciate them as always. But yeah, man, Vince McMahon in trouble with the Fed again, Joe. I don't think anyone's too surprised. I don't think anyone is super convinced this is going to be the one that brings him down. It's Vince McMahon. He's a billionaire. He's got friends in high places. You would assume, Well, we know about some, like he's Vince is like I said, Joe. He's in the mud again.
He is. I know very little about this, so I'll leave it to. Unfortunately,
Not many
because
details, to be honest.
Yeah, because of the way things work, it'll probably result to absolutely nothing, which is terribly unfortunate, but it's kind of the reality of these situations. But yeah, certainly not surprised. Gave us a tremendous YouTube title. These are the games we play. We'll see kind of what develops in terms of the story here, because I saw there was like a few moving pieces today. But yeah, again, no one will be surprised by this for sure.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is. I guess it's worth noting because it was part of official, the quarterly report or whatever, the SEC filings, etc., wherever it came from. But this got out because it came from WWE themselves because they had to report it, I assume. Lost my train of thought.
Well, them that means they caught that. They heard that nigga got raided and they did backflips. They called that nigga immediately. They said, hold on. They said, hello? Yeah, he got raided. It's over. We won. And this time we will win. Because where did he get arrested at? In Connecticut, right?
I don't know if he got arrested, thrown into prison. I just know that executed a search, and there was something else as well. It's probably worth noting as well. This is what I was going to say before. I kind of blanked for a second. Then, of course, after it got reported and it got out there that this all went down with it. Of course, the investors' media call shortly followed, and of course, the question was asked what was it? What was it? Was anything found? Is there anything? Is there anything more to come of it? And of course, we received no comment. So, like I said, I don't think there's that many details out there about it. We just know that Vince is in hot water again. Charlie, I assume you're not very surprised by this Vinnie Mac stuff.
Nope.
There's not too much to say about it.
No.
But yeah,
pretty much just agree with Joe. It's just a case of it's not surprising, but it's probably not going to be the thing that takes him out. So
no, he's going to jail. I'm gonna make sure of it. There will be no more Johnny Gargano stifling on my watch. I'm getting my push. And let me
we'll see about that. I hope you make the calls and make it up, Rob.
Right.
Mazfan 84, $2. McDevitt resigned because he knew this was coming. ? I'm not sure if anyone can confirm this, but I believe McDevitt has said that he's retiring at the end of this year.
Yeah. I said it in the space, and I said, McDevitt's leaving, bro. And he was like, no. I think it was either Ibu or Chris. He was like, nah. McDevitt said he's leaving at the end of the year. So I
think that's the case with him anyway. But the thing is with McDevitt as well, bro. He's old man now. He's like point, though, 98 years old or some shit.
I'm gonna say, at some point, McDevitt's got to be fucking tired. He's like, oh fuck, I gotta bail this nigga out again. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been a very fruitful endeavor for him at the same time, though. So, but yeah, I don't know if anyone can confirm that. I'm sure it would only take a quick Google search. But yeah, Jerry McDevitt, I think he said that he's retiring at the end of this year. So.
I want to bring that forward.
Yeah, you could blame. I'm sure he's made more than enough money these days, so he's chilling. But yeah, keep the super chats coming. Appreciate it as always. But yeah, man. Let's talk about these AEW All In at Wembley reports because there's been a few of those. Of course, we've already touched on Books FTR. But yeah, the first actual report that came out was from Fort for Select saying that there's been discussions in AEW regarding possibly bringing in Rob Van Dam. Specifically, one of the ideas that they heard was him facing Jack Perry at All In or All Out. Rob Van Dam. Joe, this, interesting choice,
Yeah, I mean, it will... This doesn't do a lot for me, but I totally concede that there is an audience for it, and he'll get a great reaction at Wembley Stadium if that's indeed where it lands. Again, to kind of go back to the earlier conversation, I think it would make more sense to have him teamed with Hook, to be honest, and give Hook that rub. But I don't know who Jack will be with, so I'm sure it will be a fine way to spend 7 minutes or so on the show. I mean, it doesn't offend me or anything. I don't really know if it's like an actual big deal in 2023. I guess we'll find out pretty shortly. I mean, as soon as Jerry Lynn was introduced in that angle, it was like they're going to Rob Van Dam because that's the only reason you use Jerry Lynn. With all respect to Jerry, who's a tremendous wrestler, but his place in history is very much he was the guy who wrestled Rob Van Dam very frequently. So you knew that was where they were headed. We kind of got into it last Thursday. So
yeah,
he'll get a great reaction. I mean, the match, we shall see. He can still do his like stuff. A singles match is different to just plugging stuff in a trios or whatever, you know. So I'll be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, it's like, it's 2023, mate. I don't think anyone needs, there's a dying urge to see Rob Van Dam, put over Jack Perry in a singles match. It's like just let him plug his cool little spots in, his nostalgic spots, just let him plug him into an 8-man or something. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice. Of course, it's a very notable name that everyone recognises who's followed wrestling pretty much at any time over the past 20, 30 years. So, yeah, man, Rob Van Dam, it seems like he's being discussed internally by AEW for an all-in match against Jack Perry. Charlie, what do you think?
I don't need it to happen, but I'll still pop for it. I liked RVD a lot back in the day, so I don't really have that much to say about it. I just think it'll be cool as long as it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Dillis is slow motion rolling thunder.
My fellow ECW fans, we won. We won.
Fired up, Rob.
Always wanted. Listen, I've been saying since the Noah show where RVD did a split-legged moonsault without tearing his nutsack that we need to bring him into AEW. And finally, someone, not TK, someone has answered my prayers and called Rob Van Dam and said, "Listen, we need you on the big show. We need you on the big stage, and we need you at Wembley Stadium. Can you do it?" And we don't want. Listen, RVD, if you're watching, we don't want Impact RVD. We don't keep Impact RVD at home. Fat, high on weed. We don't need that RVD here. We need Noah RVD. We need steroids
Noah
RVD.
It doesn't even sound like a real thing, but it is.
We need 30-minute hardcore match with Nasawa and Tanaka and Super Crazy RVD. We need that RVD. Listen, we're back in business. Tony, you need to give him that all elite graphic after the match.
Whoa.
Oh, it's time. It's time.
WWE Hall of Fame.
And we're taking our TV title back and we're holding it in another 2 years.
Oh, come on.
What you mean?
Anyway,
you know what? I gotta call RVD after this to get the deal done. Y'all is out my power, man.
All right. As I said, in Fightful's follow-up report to the news that the Young Bucks and the rest of the Elite are re-signing with AEW, he did mention that things are picking up with the FTR match, and this was also reported by SE Scoops, who they don't normally do reports, but they're not the kind of outlet that would put something out if they haven't heard nothing. The people over there are pretty sound people who have clearly heard something because they've put out that the Young Bucks and FTR is being discussed for AEW All In. The Young Bucks are looking to return to the tag division after the blow off to their feud with the Blackpool Combat Club. Both FTR and the Young Bucks are wanting the third match in their trilogy to be at the Wembley show. So very, very, very promising for especially myself, Joe, and Charlie, who were screaming at the top of our lungs that that's the match we won at Wembley, So happy days, Charlie, especially for you, even more so than us, because it seems like the Bucks are ready to go on a charge in the tag team division again.
God bless. I'm so excited. I'm trying not to get like overexcited because this is wrestling. Something can change within the next hour before Dynamite starts. Like, but the Bucks want it, FTR want it, the fans want it. Put it on at Wembley, man. Do it. Like, it's gonna be incredible no matter where they do it. But I'm incredibly selfish and want to be there for it. So put it at Wembley, TK.
You sure the fans want it?
Shut up, Rob.
Yes, Rob.
I don't care what you have to say right now.
What do?
Listen, the tag team division has been somewhat of a topic for me the last couple of months. It's not been at its best, but they've started making moves internally and things are picking up again. Like the stuff with Bullet Club Gold and FTR has been great. The stuff with FTR and Adam Cole and MJF has been great. They've got the Lucha Bros back on Dynamite. Like the Kingdom are starting to appear on AEW TV. Aussie Open are back full force. Get the Bucks back in there. Do the match at Wembley with FTR and really cement the division back where it needs to be and have it red hot again.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
She's not wrong. Like,
shut up, bro.
She's not. I said she's not wrong. What the fuck? Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Anyway, I'm saying
what you were doing.
She's not wrong.
It was the voice. The voice was misleading. You know.
She's not wrong because look. I mean, me and Charlie been saying this shit since the beginning of the year when the fucking Guns won the tag titles. The Guns winning the tag titles is the worst thing that ever happened to the tag titles since the inception of the tag. Since Scorpio fucking Sky won the tag, was one half of the tag champion.
Not too much.
That's very spiteful.
Listen, bro, we gotta,
Scorpio Sky just catching a stray, you know.
We gotta stop this bullshit, bro. They had, I know, everybody tells me the Machine Guns weren't gonna sign anyway, but they were. One of them was available. They had so many fucking tag teams available, and we're giving the tag titles to the Guns, and we're giving tag title opportunities to fucking Kip Sabian and other people. No, bro, we got to stop this. They did good by signing Aussie Open. They did good by bringing the Kingdom onto the company. Now we got to keep going. If FTR versus if the Young Bucks carrying the FTR inside of Wembley Stadium is what we have to do to get back to where we were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, then I'm all for it.
Carrying is very spiteful way of putting it, you know.
What you mean?
You know what I mean, Robert. Anyway.
Whoa, that's fighting words.
What I was going to say, Charlie, of course, and Rob as well, we was in the space earlier talking about like this match, and it was brought up like the possibility of this main event in Wembley. And I think if the match gets booked, I think you may have to have this main event, or you need to put it somewhere where it's far away from the main event. Because if you're following that, it's, you know, we was talking about MJF versus Adam Cole. Like them both, you know what I mean? MJF, especially in ring, he's great. You know, he's the more than capable. We've already seen him have a really good match on Dynamite. I'm sure they'd be more than capable of having a really, really good match in a Wembley Stadium, especially with the crowd being so invested into this current story they're playing out. But following the Young Bucks FTR 3 in front of 80,000 fans sounds like sounds cruel, you know? It don't sound hard. It sounds fucking cruel. Like that's a tall order for any wrestler of any generation, at any time, on any sort of form, you know? So where do you find yourself with that, Joe? Do you think they'll still kind of follow through with like MJF Cole main eventing if that's the current plan, or do you think they would consider that part of it?
I think they'll stick with MJF and Cole as the main event, but I think to your point, they definitely should distance this from that spot so that the people have kind of, you know, like, I think you want to, because it's going to be a long card, you need to kind of break the card up into chunks. Yeah. Each kind of chunk of it can have its own main event, so to speak, and then you rebuild the people after that, get them back to Beaver Pitch, back again. This should be one of those kind of, you know, informal main events. This feels like, if it's on the card, the obvious candidate to steal the show, because this is going to be something really special. Like, the atmosphere for this match is going to be incredible because there's going to be an organic split, I feel like, and the people are going to be going for, you know, whichever team they prefer. They are basically the two teams of like the tag team generation, which is very rare you get an opportunity to do that matchup at all, let alone in Wembley Stadium. It's, you know, immediately is the biggest match of either team's lives, right? It has to be 80,000 people. Like, the Bucks did the Tokyo Dome an awful lot, but this would be a featured match at Wembley Stadium. That'd be number one for them, and certainly would be for FTR, whose their WrestleMania match was Hawkins and Ryder, right, on a pre-show. So
Yeah.
it's the biggest match of their lives. I mean, it's the dream scenario. That's why we've been fighting for it and arguing for it for so many months. It always felt like it had to happen, and it should happen. It's a piece of history, and there's no way they're going to let that history come without anything other than a classic match. That match is going to be incredible. So
I really
I
do
can't
think
wait.
if they go all the way with this, put it as the main event. Like,
Yeah, no.
I'm not one that compares AEW to WWE a lot, but look what WWE have done with their tag division in the last 6 months.
Yeah,
Like, they've main evented 3 big shows. Like, if you want the fans to believe that AEW once again have the best tag division in the world, put this on as the main event. Make a statement with it.
Yeah.
I really do think it's what they should do.
The thing I would say too to that point is I really hope they think about what they're going to do in terms of build here, because the first match had the really convoluted build where the Hangman Kenny stuff was great. Remember when they were kind of manipulating Hangman?
Yeah.
And they did the weird deal with the Bucks, teased the turn to show they got more edge. And by the time they got to the match, it was let's just get the match going, because it was kind of a mess. The match obviously was great. Second match, there was no build beyond they did a segment at Supercard, right? Was the thing there? Yeah, which was awesome, but it was so. I think they would really be well served to tap into, rather than having back and forth promos. It's simplify this and just frame this as what basically we all just said.
Yeah,
It's 1 and 2. All-time great teams clashing at Wembley Stadium.
Real quick,
settle the differences.
Monty, I don't know if you've seen this, but PW Insider just put out 15 minutes ago. They said, we are told there's at least one more surprise set for AEW Dynamite. However, whoever it is, they are being hidden.
Amen.
Old Van Dam.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's kind of where
Y'all ready?
my mind went to Rob Van Dam. It's the report I mentioned I was reading earlier.
RVD's already been. Listen. Big Bill, baby, and I'm not talking the tall one. Come on,
real.
What are we doing here?
I'm all in on the Goldberg appearing at Wembley hype train.
I've accepted it. I don't care either way. That'll be my drink.
80,000 people just doing Goldberg.
I feel like
a lot of you British niggas, y'all shit on Goldberg.
You think you can do it?
When his music hits in Wembley, I better not hear 90,000 Brits chanting Goldberg. I'm gonna call all y'all niggas fake fans.
To be very clear, folks, if Bill Goldberg shows up, I'll be thrilled by this. But I do think with the audience that's attending the show, I do think there'll be because the last few times he's shown in WWE, there was some boos, right?
No, it's the spot you put him in, bro. You know?
Yeah, true. What spot you putting him in?
No, if he's wrestling for the fucking world title, you know what I mean, or he's wrestling like Hangman or something, then you'll probably get booed because people will be petrified that he's gonna win, you know. But if you do something like in WWE when he wrestled Ziggler, you know, you knew what it was gonna be, but it was a good time, and you just get
absolutely killed.
Yeah, just to get a bump in heel out there, not keep saving, you know, but get a bump. I mean, fuck it, you know.
It's got to be someone he can get up for the jackhammer though. I don't know whether he'd get QT up.
Yeah, bro.
Need to be anybody over 205 pounds. Sorry.
The beauty of Goldberg is if he can't get him, he just tries anyway and drops him on their head. So
I know he had the nightmare with Undertaker, but it was severely concussed, and Undertaker's a big dude, you know.
Remember when he dropped Taker on his head and Taker got up like, oh shit!
Him with a shoot brainbuster.
Soon he's seen his life flash before his eyes. He's like, oh.
And Undertaker won the match and just looked disgusted with what just happened. Yeah. You know, that's probably my favorite part.
Nigga said, I saw me and Kane's parents for a second. It got dark. Anyway.
We're having different discussions right now.
But besides Goldberg, who do y'all think the surprise really is?
Griff just said that it could be Kyle O'Reilly. He's been training. Those videos of him training came out yesterday.
Nah,
My current
That
guess is Rob Van Dam. I'm not going to try and get too
me too.
like. I'm not going to try and get
Because-
too. You know.
Jerry Lynn they're doing a segment tonight, right? They like announced the segment, I think. So
they sure
I would
are.
assume that's it. I'd assume Jake challenges Jerry Lynn to a fight, and Jerry says, "I can't fight you, but I have someone who will," and then they'll bring out Bob. I would assume. That's my guess. Yeah.
Rob, big Rob,
Or
Bob.
Robert, for the sake of this program.
What
Yeah,
happened?
man.
Oh,
Yeah. Van Dam, you're not on Dynamite, brother.
I was
All right?
like,
Yeah. Also,
Next week, bro,
also,
next week.
also, in the SE Scoops article, in the report, they also included Rob Van Dam versus Jack Perry as being in discussion for All In. So that's another report on that match there. Jack Perry is the front runner to be Rob Van Dam's opponent at All In, and also Jeff Jarrett versus Grado, either in a singles match or in a tag match. I think this is one that would definitely suit being a tag match, as Joe actually mentioned earlier, to be honest. So, I don't think this is going to be... We've already kind of spoke about it. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I don't think it's going to be like semi-main event. It'll probably be on 0 hour. The crowd will pop for it. They'll sing the song. Jeff Jarrett will hit someone with a guitar, and it's pretty inoffensive. Yeah.
you don't think Grado and Jeff Jarrett singles match not party?
Not really. To be honest,
Y'all ain't never
real with
seen
my friends.
Y'all ain't never seen Grado versus Drew McIntyre. It's fine. I understand.
I mean, I have, but it was 8 years ago. It's a different time. And even back then, that needed a lot of, that needed a lot of
A few bells and whistles for that one.
yeah, definitely. That was all over the place that much, but they got to the destination in the end. And if anyone has ever seen it, I tweeted it on the Wrestle Purist account earlier. The pop that Grado got on that night was incredible. But as I just mentioned, that was a long time ago, So, good for Grado, man. Getting a payday,
It shouldn't be it shouldn't make Monty have an aneurysm in the stadium. So it shouldn't be offensive. Like.
Speaking of such, who's Gravity working?
Anyway, Darren Walker says £5 super chat. With the Elite versus Team TNA tonight, they need to set up Kenny versus Double J next week. Real grabs. I mean, I like the idea of Kenny versus Jeff Jarrett on a random Dynamite, but just not on the build to All In. That's kind of where I find myself on that. But yeah, man, Double J versus Kenny Omega, that would Kenny would make that work,
Yeah,
and
probably,
Jeff Jarrett would squeeze in his horse shit, and that would pop sickos like myself, And
Kenny's gonna spike himself on the what is it called? The the move he does called?
The stroke.
Yeah, the stroke. He's gonna spike himself on the stroke.
How Gravity does his shitty walk to the ring, Gets booed like he did on Collision.
That is actually awesome.
That'd be so fucking funny.
Then Goldberg just comes out and just fucking kills him,
Bless the guy. He's super young. He's brand new to it, but seeing him on Collision be used as unintentionally used as a comedy heel, there's something to be said for that. You need those guys on the card. Gravity doing the walk and then getting the shit kicked out of him by everyone. There's some money to be made there.
Fuck it out, man. Bro, $2. Bucks FTR 3. Y'all got the pen. Who goes over? I'll probably put Bucks over, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all in too.
And I am definitely an FTR guy when it comes to those two, but I think on this one you do the total change.
Yeah. To be fair, the actual answer is probably depends what you have in Chicago, right? That's the actual, because you have a 1 week turnaround. But just in a vacuum, I would agree with the Bucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think they're gonna do the thing where it's FTR been having all these good tag matches and the Bucks really haven't tagged all year like that? They've had 1 or 2 tag matches. You don't think they're gonna do that? Weird shit.
They definitely could.
It sounds like something Dax will touch on in the promo.
They could also tell that story from the other way too, right?
We've been having all these tag matches. I only know because my daughter's been watching them. But we've been having all these tag matches every week. And the Bucks, they only had like what, 1 or 2 tag matches this week? Fucking amateurs.
It feels like if the Bucks go
aggressive.
over, they'll probably turn FTR after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Feels like eventually
Maybe,
they're going to do that.
Yeah, because you assume Punk's going one way at the minute, so
Mm-hmm.
he's doing his shades of grey at the moment. But I think it's fair to assume that the outcome will be like full blown heel,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it either way. FTR win, FTR lose, FTR's turn heel, FTR stay baby faces. I'm all in. I love what they're doing at the minute. Cody Willis, 199, appreciate you. Seems the tunnels are back for tonight. Fired up. Yeah, they are. They are back. There's been pictured people at the show have took pictures, and the tunnels are back. Yeah, AEW Dynamite 200. Of course, they've gone with like the nostalgic graphics and artwork and stuff, and
Yeah.
seems like they're going with the nostalgic tunnels as well. From
I love that stuff.
They need to
Yeah,
use the
man,
old
Yeah.
lighting,
cool.
bro.
It's a nice little throwback.
When the whole arena used to be lit up, they need to go back to that, bro. For the night.
I hope they really take the time tonight to take many victory laps, put themselves over immensely, replay some great moments, and celebrate,
Yeah,
put yourself over.
this is their answers to the Cody doc, bro.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Something like that,
Well, then you're not a
Mhm.
secondary promotion. No.
Fired up though, man. Fired up. Sean Morgan, 199. Any chance of surprise could be Edge? I'd say absolutely not.
Isn't he still under WWE contract?
Yeah, of course, that's what I mean. It's like even if he isn't, like say if he's run out and we've not heard of it, like you'd be in. I don't know. Like it's just, that's definitely not something I can see.
Be a hell of a shock.
Like I said, it would be. I think people would be falling out of the chairs, mate. To be honest, I don't see that one happening. I think it'll be like RVD. That's the only one I could confidently say. Like I think it'll probably be that person.
The other thing with Edge is, if Edge was coming in, it feels like the Christian's creative would kind of indicate that in some way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
Yeah.
Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you as always. With Tony versus Shida tonight, what will be the women's matches? What'll be the women's matches for All In? The All In, the title match. I assume I've already spoke about this. I think on one of the parts, but like Tony versus Shida, I'd probably put Tony over in this one. But I'd fuck Shida out of the title. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have Tony just beat a flat in the middle of the ring with a finish, and then you'd run it back at Wembley and give Shida the moment at Wembley. Because it's fucking devastating about Jamie Hayter not being at the show. If Thunder Rosa comes back, I guess that could play into the equation somehow and might change what you want to do. But as it stands right now, that's what I'd do for the women's world title. Then for the TBS title, it looks like they're building towards like a 4-way or something. So that was a pretty good angle on Saturday. So I'm not mad at what direction that's going in at the minute. So yeah, man. Britt Baker will probably be involved somewhere as well. So
yeah, I kind of think there's going to be two. I kind of feel like both title matches are going to be like 4-ways or 3-ways. Which is not ideal, but honestly, they're at a point with the division where it's like that may be the best match to book for a stadium, to be totally honest, because the Jamie Hayter situation, that match would have got the people because there was a story there and a drama there and a moment to be had, her winning the belt. Unfortunately, Tony and Shida are very capable of having a tremendous match and we'll have one tonight, I have no doubt. But that stadium crowd is going to be tough, Like, I think they're probably going to do multi-person matches. So, with that in mind, I think that will probably be the direction. As for tonight, I think Sheeta's win the belt tonight, honestly. It's not Tony's fault. I just think sometimes you just have to make it clear to the audience we're doing a reset, And she's kind of a victim of circumstance.
Me either way. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me either way. But yeah, let's get in matchy. Last bit of news before we just dive straight into Dynamite 200. Dark Order, their contract signing, re-signing, extension, whatever you want to call it, has been confirmed. Evil Uno did quote tweet the AEW press release that they've re-signed the Elite, saying Dark Order, something like Dark Order re-signed and we didn't get no press release. That's been followed up on by Sean Ross Sapp, who's confirmed that they have signed an extension, a 3-year extension as well. So 2026, they've been in the group since they've been in AEW since 2019, and despite being growingly divisive as they become, they become smaller fishes in an increasingly growing pond. Is a very polite way of putting it, I think. People were hearing rumours of them wrestling the Bucks at Wembley, and were getting very angry about it. Some of those people may have been on the screen right now. But yeah, man, Dark Order, they're staying around in AEW, man. Obviously, Tony must be a fan, man. Tony must be a fan, and they play the role and they do the thing. They've definitely got the fans as well. It's not like everyone thinks that there shouldn't be, whatever. But yeah, Dark Order, 3 more years. Good for them, getting paid.
They're good wrestlers. They're good wrestlers. A lot of the big kind of conversation was about what they would, again, as you said, this rumored match that may not even be happening now, which makes it even funnier. But they're good wrestlers. I don't know if they need to be main characters on any of the big TV shows, but I have no issue with this, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, you're muted.
Yeah.
Rob,
you're muted, bro.
You've been muted for a long time. I've tried.
I was distracted. Sorry.
Okay, go back.
In the words of David Ruffin, and I'm quoting Chris's tweet, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. That's why you didn't get no press release. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis." Who in 2023 said, "Yo, I get it, the Bucks, everybody re-signing, but we need that Dark Order re-sign"? No, we didn't ask for that. Nobody asked for that. Nobody. Stop, bro. Stop.
That is interesting as well. It's not like, like I know, obviously Rob put it spiteful, but obviously there was a lot of discourse around, the Elite, and obviously I'm not comparing the Dark Order to the Elite, like one for one. That'd be ridiculous. But like there was literally like no talk about like the Dark Orders, like none,
No disrespect to Stu Grayson. Stu Grayson is a good wrestler, but Stu Grayson didn't get that big of a press release, bro. He showed up on Dynamite, and I think Sean Ross was just like, or somebody was just like, don't quote me on that, but I think somebody just posted like, Stu Grayson is back. Like they didn't do no press release for Stu Grayson.
They don't do it for a lot of people, just for re-signing. I think Mox got one. The Elite got one. I don't think did FTR get one. I don't think they did that.
They did a press release for the EV. Well, I don't know if they're EVPs anymore, but they did a press release for the EVPs of the company.
Yeah, like I said, they've done a press release today, obviously for the Elite. That's completely understandable. And I think I'm pretty sure Mox got one.
Yeah.
I don't think FTR did when they re-signed at the start, at the end of last year.
Jericho got one.
Yeah, of course he did.
What story? Wait, and that's another thing. What storyline are y'all in right now? Are y'all in a storyline with the Righteous, or y'all in a storyline with the Elite? You can't do both. You can't. Do both.
I hope, and to Joe's point he made earlier, he's like, everyone in the Dark Order, like, none of them are like terrible wrestlers or anything. It's just like, I think it's pretty fair to say that most people would agree that they don't need to be like featured players on national television.
Right.
But then they're not bad wrestlers or anything, They're it's a Dark Order, man. It's interesting that they went in for the 3-year commitment. Like, from the AEW side of things, obviously if you're Dark Order, you'd rip the hands off for it. You know what I mean? But it's interesting Tony committed like that for him because 3 more years of the Dark Order. As I think Darren Walker said in a super chat earlier, so what do you see them do for the next 3 years, bro? Like, what does the future?
Have a lot of fun on Honor Club.
Yeah.
Wow, that was kind of spiteful.
Honor Club, baby.
It's not as spiteful as I could.
The delivery was very, it
was
methodical.
She could have said y'all could do some indies. I hear GCW's hiring. All it takes is an 8-ball, and you're set. You can come right in the building, walk right in, go in the ring, wrestle.
Yeah, man, people like them.
should
You
just
know,
know
all NXT ratings. NXT ratings, another big night for them. You know, 717,000 viewers, 0.23 in the ratings. Me and Rob win again. You know,
I told y'all. Listen, I know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. I told
you
y'all this
do,
the
right?
other
Yeah.
day.
Talk.
Come on, man. Doing more than What happened to those? Oh, NXT can't even do Rampage numbers. What happened to that? What happened? Wait.
Real wrestling show, Joe. You know?
Wait.
Apparently so.
What
Yeah.
did Collision do? 'Cause now I'm intrigued. Now I'm interested.
Compare. I think it was similar, wasn't it? Very similar, actually. Let's check it. What is? Because they've done like seven. They've done like their second best since the debut show, didn't they?
730. Oh, we were only. You said 717.
Mm-hmm.
We're only 29 away from beating those niggas. 23 away from beating those niggas, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Incredible way of phrasing it.
Oh man. Come on, man.
But yeah, that's the NXT rating. Another big rating. Of course, you can probably contribute that to the main roster involvement: Dom Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, etc., etc. So, let's talk about Dynamite 200 though. Let's get serious. Let's talk about the real business. Me and Rob, sorry, have our fun with our NXT adventure. But
That's the TV show.
speaking of NXT, actually, Super Chat's somewhat relevant. $2. How much of AEW's roster would you trade for Ilya Dragunov?
Oh,
all the
I could list
shitters.
some names.
I would trade all the shitters for Dragunov. Nigga, get all of them
Bro?
out of here. Get Scorpio out of here. Wait, you go first, Charlie. Because I got a list. I got.
Well,
if you can pick
the Dark
one,
Order could take those
no,
3-year deals.
hold on. I want to set some ground rules. You can only pick one wrestler, and it has to be someone that you think is like at least somewhat realistic that WWE would accept in exchange.
Miro.
Really?
I would do that exchange easily.
Interesting. Joe?
This is tough for me because I have my challenges with Ilya Dragunov. He's great, but he's very theatrical. Drives me slightly insane.
It's because
I'd have to come on to Wrestle
He's been
Curious
stuck
every
in the
Thursday.
warehouse too long.
It's fair, but like, Charlie, imagine every Thursday I had to come on and be like, good match. I wish Ilya would rein himself in a little bit, and everyone in the chat would call me a piece of shit. I mean, I don't ever want to live that life, you know?
Yo,
I'm hanging up the phone.
You're working off of the Dynamite
Joe,
reviews.
Good point.
Joe, you gotta remember.
Wardlow.
Joe, you gotta remember he's theatrical because he thinks it's real. He's not
I don't know if I need the hands, you know? The hands are a lot for me. He's a great wrestler, of course.
Yeah, he's awesome. It's just, he has his...
Oh yeah,
he has his
absolutely.
quirks.
Chat's already picking my pick. Wardlow, get the fuck out.
There's no
Wardlow, Miro.
Absolutely not.
Who would they actually do the deal for? Monica, I feel like you're the most grounded in this particular conversation of us.
If I'm WWE, yeah. And Tony calls my phone and he's like, oh, I need Ilya Dragunov, let's work something out. I would ask for oh fuck. I would ask for let me think.
It's very difficult because it's impossible to know how they actually value him because he's still in NXT. So it's like, how much can they, you know what I'm saying? It's like...
And tell you how much would AEW value him as well? Like, yeah, he's a fucking phenomenal in-ring worker in most people's eyes, do you know what I mean? But it's like, AEW stacked, man, it's...
But there's also the value of he can just go be a beast on the indies as well.
Bye-bye, Wardlow.
I take
Wardlow's quite Wardlow's not a bad shout, to be honest.
Hey man, if we're talking about the fact that Ilya's still in NXT, let him have one of the NXT classics back. Malachi can go back.
Oh yeah. No,
that was a really unfortunate mistake.
I had no information on Malachi Black, but I'm not gonna say. But they would definitely trade that nigga for Wardlow. I'm gonna trade that. Damn, they would definitely trade that nigga for Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, but you think AEW would do that? You know,
Bro, bro, you definitely gets be like Malachi.
I wish they did this kind of thing. You know, I do wish there was
Yeah, me
like
too.
trade, like like
We would get a lot
trades
of that,
and
this,
yeah,
yeah.
like we'd have Manny out there doing like deadline day. You know,
Emergency live stream because the guns have been traded for a second round pick or something. You know, us diving onto Twitch, folks. The deal was in. You know, like there's a lot we could get out of it for sure.
absolutely. But let's get into this Dynamite show, man. Let's just skip straight to it. AEW Dynamite 200. A lot of stuff on the show. We've got Moxie versus Trent versus Penta. Anything goes. We've got Kenny Omega and the Bucks versus Team TNA. We've got face to face with Jerry Lynn and Jack Perry. We've got Tony Storm versus Shida for the world title. We've got Jericho and Takeshita versus Guevara and Garcia. And we hear from MJF. Oh, also we got Aussie Open versus Vikingo and Commander. Let's start with MJF, man. We'll hear from him. And things got a bit dicey on Saturday. They definitely teased the turn, but friendship won in the end. You know, they hugged it out. It seems like they are sticking together for the time being. Obviously, there's the whole thing looming over it. MJF has already promised Adam Cole the title shot, so we'll probably get more of an idea of how they're going to get to, how they're going to get there, and if they're going to do it on All In or All Out. You'd assume All In though. And we'll see how MJF is coping with the loss, because he was crying like a little boy on Saturday. Cole had to console him. It was good. It was cinema, as the kids say. Rob, wake up.
So, I'm up. No, I'm up. I'm literally up.
No, I'm messing with you.
No, I was just checking
MJF,
Twitter.
Adam Cole, where do you see it going?
MJF, Adam Cole. Gotta win tag. We're going. Do you guys remember? Were you guys watching TNA when Broken Matt Hardy?
Always TNA with his
Listen. Were you guys watching TNA when the Broken Universe was prime?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are going on an expedition of gold. We here in the Better Than You Bay Foundation, we're going for ROH gold. We're going for Impact Wrestling gold. We're going for GHC gold. We're going for gold all around the world.
MLW.
This is a money act. This gave Collision its biggest rating in weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The money is in Better Than You Baby and not FDR, sadly. But the money is in You Baby. So, hey, listen, bro, I'm just hoping that, like we said the other day on Ibu's show the other day, go check that out if you didn't see it. Cheap plug. I'm hoping that it's not MGF that turns, and it needs to be Cole that turns this time. Because listen, I think somebody tweeted it. I don't remember who, but whoever tweeted it, you were right. Or somebody said in the chat the other day, it needs to be Cole that goes, you should never trust your heroes.
That was my tweet.
It was you. It was you. It was you.
It was me.
Yeah. You were like, oh, MJF should be like, why'd you do it? And then Adam be like, you should never trust your heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, every single one of Max's heroes that he's feuded with didn't turn on him. Max turned on them. So it'll be a different dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll actually get to see a babyface Max, since Punk is pretty much almost already turning heel anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, man. Charlie, Joe, you got anything you want to add about where you see this going?
I think if MJF makes good on what he said in the pre-tape last week of offering Cole this title match at All In, I think that solidifies for me that he's not the one turning in this feud. Because he could play it off as, oh, it was like heat at the moment or whatever, like I was so pumped up for a match, like whatever. But he said win, lose or draw. So if he makes good on that and he offers the match at All In or whatever, I don't think he's the one turning in this feud. I think it's going to eventually be Cole, whether that's after All Out or Full Gear or whatever. So
we need desperate Adam Cole from NXT back, bro. We need that evil nigga back.
Within reason, yeah.
Joe, anything to add?
No, I agree pretty much across the board. I think they're going to do the matches. I think they're basically going to do a babyface match at Wembley. Because I don't think they want to do the split, and you can do the deal of basically the selling point of the match is who pulls the trigger first, who screws the other, and you can probably navigate that in a way where you don't split the team even still. Because I think there's months ahead of this. This thing's so hot. It's honestly one of the hottest angles in AEW history, like legitimately. So there's no real reason to rush on this to me anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do I want to go next? Tony Storm versus Shida. I believe, we've already kind of talked about that, to be fair. Joe, you said you think Shida's winning. I wouldn't be surprised either way. Charlie, who have you got winning this one?
I have no idea. I'd be happy with either because I really like both women. So if I had to pick, I would say Tony, but I wouldn't be mad about Shida. So.
Rob, you got a prediction? Who's walking out of AEW Dynamite 200 with the women's world title?
Hopefully they do what I said the other day. Again,
which is
literally, I think they already should have had a match for the belt by now, but hopefully we can, within this 4-week time period, we can have them have a match, have Tony give her another opportunity. She loses that. She loses both of these matches, and then at Wembley, it's like a last chance sort of deal.
So
and then Shida finally wins. So Tony wins tonight.
Locked in. So we got some Tonys, we got Joe with the Shida, and I'm sitting on the fence, but I'll stop sitting there. I'll go with Shida as well, just to even it up. So 2 of us have gone with Tony, 2 of us have gone with Shida. We're going with Shida, people. All right. That'll be a great match, of course. I think that goes without saying. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh. This is one of those graphics, Hulbert sent it me immediately. Like, is this real, bro?
Yeah,
like, it is. It is real.
Real wrestling, bro.
I'm not even doing a bit. This is the thing I'm most looking forward to on the show. Like, sincerely, I think this is going to be incredible. Satnam Singh being plugged into an elite party match is fucking incredible.
They'll do a great big spot with him.
Yeah, they're gonna have ideas. They always have ideas. Because it's gonna be incredible.
Somebody's taking that chokeslam on the apron.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody's taking it.
Charlie, I know you was you nearly.
I said a thing or two.
You did. Yeah, I was thinking of a way of putting it, but you said a thing or two.
It's not going to be a bad match. It's just not what I would have done with the Elite on the 200th show. I feel like there's better trios they could have put on it, but hey, man.
So you
know what? This match is great. Kenny is going to have great stuff with Jarrett. No, it is going to be a fun time, and there'll probably be a post segment with the Elite having a promo and them talking about their contracts and all-ins. So I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to enjoy it.
Yeah, man. And speaking of things Charlie's going to enjoy, Aussie Open versus Vikingo and Commander. Very much for the ROH World Tag Team titles, nevertheless. Very much a Charlie and Alexia pilled match. But yeah, man, Aussie Open, they're back, fully fit, back together, and they're rolling, man. So I'd expect them to have another solid match here. Yeah, man, I think it's pretty safe to say that we expect Aussie Open to retain.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on a second.
It would be interesting.
I won't say it here because it would be quite, but
I think we're along the same lines because I've had this conversation with someone else with the tag team wrestling. Yeah.
So Aussie Open are the favourites. Aussie Open are definitely the favourites.
Rob, do you know what's going on right now? No, I don't.
Joe, don't worry about it. You zero in on these things that throw you off too much, brother.
I'm worried.
Just stay. Whoa, chill. Calm down. Calm down, Joe. Joe.
What?
Calm
down. What's happened? Okay, carry on.
Just calm down.
Okay,
I just want to ask you. I just want to ask you. Are you looking forward to Aussie Open versus Vikingo versus Commander?
I was. And then I was doing a podcast about it, and 2 of my co-hosts said, there's a thing we can't talk about. I said, what the fuck's going on tonight then?
I had to
I'm
correct
sorry,
myself.
folks.
I tripped up and I had to correct myself on something, hence why I had to do the whole.
Everyone is now panicked about it. There's frenzy on the streets.
Hey,
There's no panic.
Rob, look how frightened Rob looks. We want to watch the wrestling. Now we're getting told that there's something's happening. I don't know what's happening. I just thought it was going to be a tag match on Dynamite.
There is going to be a tag match on Dynamite.
All right. So anyway,
So the match is happening. Okay, good.
Mhm.
yeah, the match is happening. Chris Jericho, Takeshita versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia.
drama, baby.
Don
I forgot
Callis,
about
man.
this.
Yeah, Don Callis, man. He's a manipulative piece of shit, as all good heels are. And he's got Jericho to take on his own children. It's quite the ordeal, Hulbert. Quite the ordeal.
It is. This should be very good. And
It
I
should,
think
yeah.
this is going to be one of the deals where our Wembley direction kind of becomes clearer, right? I think this is one of those.
Yeah.
So, I'm intrigued by this. Absolutely. I think this will be a good time.
He said they sent the double at Joe. He turned into Jalen Brown.
That's spiteful. I actually navigated that very well. I will say, Rob, I feel like you could have got yourself open for a free there. I was trying to kick it out, and you.
Oh no, I would have Danny Greened it. I would have picked that motherfucker. Bitch would have won in the 7th row.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that we're all expecting some storyline advancement with this kind of match. Yeah, Donkey's going to get a bunch of heat. Takeshita and Jericho, that is quite the tag team. Quite the tag team. I've enjoyed very much Guevara and Garcia together. I wonder if anything spins off for them, because I think we're all thinking like Callis, Jericho, Takeshita. I wonder where this goes for them, because
I think
they've got their own thing going on as well at the minute.
Mm-hmm. I think Jericho takes the pin in this match.
Yeah, maybe. Then okay, so MJF spoke by Aussie Open. Jack Perry, Jerry Lynn face to face. We've kind of already discussed that. We think Rob Van Dam may feature in this. Indeed. We'll leave it at that, anything goes match, John Moxley, Trent Beretta, Penta, Zero Miedo.
Forgot about that.
This could be this is one of those matches that could either just be kind of like on the show or like fucking insane,
Yeah.
Everybody's bleeding, baby. Everybody's got to bleed.
Might be the main event, honestly, again.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It's a Mox anything goes match, so. And you got Penta in there, Trent's in there to eat a pin, you assume, It's it'll be a good match, though, man. 3 good wrestlers. Mox is going to bleed, and it's quite the stacked show, really. Especially when you consider that it's AEW Dynamite 200, and you assume that's going to be drilled home. And I tweeted earlier, like this week, I was kind of agitated last week about them not doing really anything for Wembley, but this week they need to punch me in the fucking face with the fact that they've got over 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium later this month. And I think if they don't do that, it would be very disappointing, to be honest. But I think they will. I have faith. But AEW Dynamite 200. I'm not too sure what's going on with the watch along, because AO, he's done his disappearing act. But if we don't get to do the watch along, then we'll be back tomorrow with the Dynamite review, and we'll be back to normal scheduled programming. A few super chats before we get out of here, though. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you was in the space earlier and we've attracted you from over there, thank you for joining us, and just thank you for joining us in general. And my star win $5. Excellent spiteful behaviour from Rob and Charlie about the Dark Order. And how about this? Trevin Link, $6.99 Canadian. Rare WrestlePure is Al for hating the Dark Order.
It's not WrestlePure as a whole.
Top five relevant moments.
Do that. Which
top 5 Dark Order relevant moments in the last 6 months. Go.
You love doing your top 5 list, whenever someone likes something. But what was I going to say, man? Threw me off now. You threw me off, but yeah.
People always
that's what I
generalise.
said. Yeah, people always do that with us, you know. Like, a couple of people hate one wrestler, and it's like, oh, wrestle purists hate this wrestler or group. It's like,
Well, you
someone
like
done
all
it with Ricky.
wrestlers.
Someone done it with Ricky Starks a couple of weeks ago. Like, oh, wrestle purists hate Ricky Starks. So hold on, I think it's fucking awesome, and I own the page. Like,
You know, got a couple Ricky stands on here. You know, backup Hangman, he he's in love with Ricky. You know,
yeah,
but
something like that. In a final super chat, Playboy X 499. Fair trade, Ricky Starks, Sammy, Jackie. Fair trade, Ricky Starks, Sammy, Jack Perry, Dark Order, and Wardlove, Ilya Dragunov, and Gunther.
Gunther's too valuable.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You have to give up
You know, you gotta give me a big bag for me to give up.
Are they like right? Are WWE getting like first rounds back or something? Like what the fuck?
Bro, there's some serious names in AEW I want to swap for Gunther, to be honest. So,
Yeah, there's only a couple guys really.
literally, like there's
yeah,
probably like less than 4 people. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Gunther good, and that is the note I'm going to end this podcast on. So, plugs wise, maybe a watch along. You know, it's not looking very likely though. We apologise about that, but we'll be back tomorrow with the AEW Dynamite review with a very similar cast to the one you see now. But Rob will be swapped out for Manny the Hooper. He has been doing some performance art on the timeline today. Some unfortunate, some mildly funny, you know, but it's the Hooper doing Hooper things. And we're going to tune into AEW Dynamite 200. Follow us at WrestlePurist if you don't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you haven't already. Check out the WrestlePurist website, WrestlePurist.com. And again, we'll be back tomorrow with the Dynamite review. Peace.
Peace.